and listening to all of that, you know, it's one of those things where you do things in your life like sort of like one at a time, or you know, certain periods of your life, and then when you look back, and I thought, well, that's why I'm so old. Yeah, but I do want to just share and say that it has absolutely, really, sincerely been not only my pleasure, but my joy, my inspiration. I have learned and grown, and I guess, again, you can continue to learn and grow, you know, no matter how you age or what your age is. And St. Francis has been, it's been one of the anchors in my life since 1981, well, and the Franciscan tradition for much longer than that. And it just has brought me so much stability in my life through periods which I needed that stability. It has brought me great joy. It's a community that I have, I just wouldn't go anywhere else. Don't tell the bishop that, but you know, I wouldn't go anywhere else. And I wanted to just share a couple things with you. One is, because you mentioned things that I was recalling, and those of you who've been here, you know, you're as old as I am, you've been around. You remember, like, for example, when we did the church restoration, I know a number of you, I see a number of you in here, and I know you were here at the same time. And if you remember, we had the scaffolding, and you know, the church was closed for 6 months, and we actually had services in the gymnasium. And I remembered, like, Christmas Eve being upstairs in the gymnasium. And in fact, today, during the baptism, with the young boy that was baptized today, and Amy was sitting up there with me, and when we came, Amy and Molly were, I think, 7 and 9, or 6 and 8, I don't remember, somewhere around there, and they had been baptized, but they hadn't made their first communion yet. We were late with things. Anyway, and they made their first communion sort of like that young man did, just at a regular Sunday Mass. So we were recalling that incident. And I wanted to just say that when we did the restoration, and I wanted to tell you, share this little story about my late husband Ben, because it's one of the stories that I think sort of embodies not only our service here, but also just the spirit of St. Francis. And that was that, you know, we had coordinated, and we're a big part of the whole effort to make that restoration happen. So the church opened back up on Palm Sunday. And so driving down, and Amy's dad, Ben, had said to us the whole time, okay, well, we're going to park in the parking lot, and we're going to go, and we're not going to go inside the church, because nobody had seen it actually completely finished yet. And so and of course we start on Palm Sunday, you know, outside. So he said, we're not going to go in the church, we're going to go first. We're going to go, because I don't want to see it until we come in through the doors and all that. So we get in the parking lot, and we're walking down the breezeway, and the girls and I we're practically to the end of the breezeway, and we turn around, and there's no Ben. So we realized what he had done is he'd gone in the side door, and he couldn't wait to see the church. So we went back in there, and we said, you told us we couldn't come in until we came into the front. And there he was, and he stood there in the middle of the church, and he had tears streaming down his face. And that just, I think, embodies the feeling not only for him and for us as a family through the years, but for me and just for so many people. And you all know that. You're all a part of this community. Person after person, many of you who are sitting here right now who have walked through those doors and said, there is something here that calls me. There's a reason for me to be here. It feels like home, it feels like I'm welcome, and no matter who I am welcome to come here and to be here. And so I feel like we say at the Welcome Committee, you know, for new people, that throughout our lives, I think my feeling has always been that we form each other. And Anthony kind of mentioned that today, you know, in the whole homily. But it's what we do. That the more people that we meet and that cross our paths, we actually help form each other. So I am who I am because of this community, in a great part. And I really want to say thank you. I'm not going anywhere. I still live a couple blocks away. I do plan to, of course, continue to be a parishioner. I have Many other things I hope to be doing as well. Continue dancing for one, spending time with Bruce, and man in my life now, a wonderful man, and of course you just saw my beautiful granddaughter Emma, and she lives in Oakland, so I would be traveling there some and hope to travel and have some, just to have some unstructured time. But this will always be a very, very important part of my life. And I want to also just say one more thing, and that is that I know there's a lot of transition going on. It's been absolutely my absolute pleasure and learned so much from the staff that I've had the opportunity to work with. You all experienced the blessing of the individuals many times over the year. Anthony in particular I want to thank, because he has allowed me to just, share my gifts, and that's his leadership style basically is, is really